Keek on the mic, keek on the mic. Keek on the mic, keek on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. In Antelope is where I spend most of my days. Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. I wasn't expecting to do a podcast video today. As you can see, I am not at my home studio. So for today on Keek on the Mic, I will just be recording from my phone. But there's some big news, and this has obviously been some rumblings for the last couple of weeks, but the report out of Chicago is this. Bear staff is wary of Montgomery's fit in the new offense. And obviously, like I said, this has been rumbling for the last couple of months, ever since Luke Getsy came over to Chicago and brought over that new Shanahan-style offense. And I'll explain a little bit more in deep detail as I go along in this podcast video of what the Bears coaches are seeing and why they feel that they're a little bit skeptical of David Montgomery's fit in this new offense. Obviously, ESPN's Dan Graziano reported that Montgomery's stock could be slipping in the Windy City, and he had this to say about the situation. The new staff seems to like David Montgomery just fine, but there is some skepticism about whether his style fits the new offense as well as Khalil Herbert does. And here's the good news about this, Bears fans, is that the coaching staff is going to allow David Montgomery to test him out in this new offense and see maybe if he adjusts and maybe everything works out just fine. And obviously, David Montgomery is in the last year of his rookie deal. Obviously, the Bears didn't extend David Montgomery for this reason because they want to see his fit in this new offense. But just like Graziano said, there is that little bit of skepticism that maybe the fit will not be there. And that's why they just want to see how this season progresses first and see how he does in this new offense before, in fact, they do decide if they want to extend him or, in fact, let him walk. But I'm going to be a realistic fan today. And I know I'm usually the positive guy, but I'm going to be realistic. But I can personally see why the coaches may be just a tad bit skeptical about David Montgomery's fit in this new offense. When you look at that Shanahan wide zone scheme, you're looking for a one-cut power back with some speed. And that's exactly like a guy like Khalil Herbert, for example, or maybe Tristan Ebner. Those guys are one-cut backs, and they have some speed. They absolutely fit in this new wide zone Shanahan-style offense. But when you look at David Montgomery, that's not really David Montgomery's skill set. When you look at Montgomery's strengths, it's his ability to break tackles and make tacklers miss. And Montgomery, when he was drafted, obviously it was in the Matt Nagy era. But when Montgomery was drafted, he was used to the inside zone and RPO game, which the RPO aspect may still be included in the Luke Getsy offense, but it's not going to be the bulk of the offense or the entire offense. It's going to be more wide zone, right? And you need your running backs to be able to have that one cut back and need to have some speed. And personally, I have a lot of confidence in David Montgomery, and I feel like he can adjust and play well. And Montgomery is just one of those running backs that he's always going forward. He's always gaining positive yards, and he always maintains good production, unless, of course, he is hurt or he's not playing. But overall, David Montgomery has always showed consistent production for this Chicago Bears offense. So in regards to that, I feel really confident that David Montgomery will adjust and he will play well. And like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, the Chicago Bears are going to give David Montgomery the chance to prove himself in this new offense. But some things that may actually hurt David Montgomery in this situation is, like I just mentioned, this coaching staff really believes in Herbert and feels that he is a good fit for this offense. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, when you look at guys like Khalil Herbert, he is that one-cut power back with some speed. He just makes one cut and he goes, right? Where David Montgomery's all about, he's a shifty back, right? He's making people miss, right? He's always going forward. He's a rough back. He's going to run you over. And that's not really what Khalil Herbert and Tristan Ebner are trying to do. They're trying to one cut and go. And that's what the Chicago Bears are really looking for in this new wide zone Shanahan scheme. That's what you usually see in the Shanahan wide zone scheme is running backs with one cut power and speed, right? So That may be one thing that may hurt David Montgomery. And another thing that may hurt David Montgomery in this situation is obviously he's in a contract here. Like I mentioned, the Chicago Bears did not re-sign David Montgomery to an extension for this reason. They want to see if he will adjust and in fact fit in this offense. So I can understand. I do understand that it's a business and they want to make sure that he adjusts and actually fits in this offense before they actually give him a contract extension. And I know it may suck, and I truly do love David Montgomery. I know you guys do as well, but this is how it works. Running backs are very replaceable. Obviously, eventually Khalil Herbert will get replaced. And there's not a really lot of value when you look at the running back position. So in that case, that does hurt David Montgomery. But overall, I really do hope it does work out for David Montgomery because I feel like he is an excellent running back. But at the moment, we just have to see how he adjusts and adapts in this new Luke Getsy-Shanahan wide zone offense that he is bringing over to Chicago. So before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think David Montgomery will be able to adjust and actually fit in this new wide zone Shanahan style of offense? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for our all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't